All right, hello and welcome everyone.
Hello.
We are hello. We are live with Dr. Colin from Morning Brew with Dr. Colin. So
I did it.
excited. Yeah,
I made it back.
yeah. So,
So grab your
Dr. Colin,
coffee.
what are we
Yes.
doing today?
Well, first we gotta drink a little coffee. And I gotta
Yeah.
tell you, so hold on, I want to get the Twitch thing up so I can see chat. Anyway, so I started my diet again, which is that I do the intermittent fasting.
Ooh,
And
what
so
hours do
I
you do?
am freaking starving. It's 9 to 5. It's
Oh,
like the
okay.
work day.
Gotcha.
Mod view. Yeah. So with that, until 9 o'clock in the morning, all I can do is drink black coffee. So I
And
have
cry.
my one thing of black coffee in the morning. And I woke up at 5 this morning. So I
Oh,
had my black coffee in the morning at 5. And then I'm starving. My stomach is just crazy.
just not
Okay.
having a good time.
But I am going to cheat on it a little bit because I'm going to drink this coffee. This has creamer because I'm going to drink most of it here in 24 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I want to give a shout out to people. I have a lot of friends in Texas, and a lot of them have been out without power for like 30 hours.
Yeah.
And it's cold outside. And for Texas, I mean, a lot of people have like winter clothes, and but not like everyone. So
Yeah, for sure. There's quite a few people who have been without for a while now.
yeah,
People who
yeah, and I
left
mean,
like to go other
yeah,
places.
yep, yep. Luckily, my brother's in Austin, and he has gas. He has a gas range, so he can cook. And I don't know how. I don't know. They probably they're runners. They're runners. They probably have plenty of bottled water or something.
Yeah, they probably got all the stuff that you need.
All right. So I want to go through because I added some art. You ready?
Yes.
So, where's it at? So remember, there's chapter one's cover. It's still good. I don't even know if this is done, but I don't even care. I'm okay if it's not done. Right?
I have no
It's
idea.
abstract, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. But there's there. We got lots of good art, but then when we get to chapter two, there's Kaz's
A.
cover. Hey. And then if you keep going to chapter three doesn't have a cover. Chapter four does.
Right, and he was out here trying to tell us that he was like, I don't think it's gonna look really good. I don't really do well with like
Look at
splashing
that.
water. And I was
Look at that. That's gorgeous.
like,
I
who?
love
Somebody lied to you.
this. Look at the perspective. Hey Gio, how's it going? Look at this perspective. Like like I said, it looks like it was a picture shot with the iPhone portrait mode, where it
Mm-hmm.
like does perspective.
Yeah.
I love it. Like the flag is crisp. It's front, you
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And then oh, Gio's in Texas. We just gave a shout out to Texas. I don't know if you were in here.
Hey.
I have a lot of friends in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have power? That's good. Most of the people I've talked to have power back, but seeing like snow in Houston, that's crazy.
Yeah. Um, just the idea that some people don't like. That's crazy to me. Like, what are we working on? Looking at what we've got so far, and then start in chapter
Starting
three.
chapter three. Chapter three, we're going to start with a pretty rough outline, so it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
very much brainstorming. But I want to show you kind of what I've done. I wrote this. Someone said they couldn't get into Jim Binder or something. That's because I was working. Oh, you said that you didn't catch this stuff yet because
Oh yeah, the
I
new
think I was
stuff.
working on it last night. I think I was working on it like an hour before you said that. I was like, you know. So I named. So this is when. So quick recap.
Okay.
The group, Port Zareth. They were in Port Zareth when it was assaulted by the Pirate Queen. They left with Darius, which
Right.
at some point we'll go back and add that section about if they join the Pirate Queen.
Mm-hmm.
But oh yeah, that reminds me. So they then ran into some pirates that owed Darius money. So then they did a little bit of a treasure loot quest,
Hey.
and then now they're returning back to Darius's father, the shipwright,
Mhm.
his private dock. And sure enough, they're interrupting when they land. They are interrupting a private meeting between um, Carlisle and Polly Malter, a merchant out of Varuna. Um,
Hang
Polly's
on.
recounting his last. Hmm,
Is Polly Malter a Fadari?
no,
Okay,
but he
because I
could be.
thought you were making a pun there.
What was the pun going to be?
Like, because
What's the
birds molt. Like, I'm molting.
actually, though, that does go into my last name description, but for like humans,
Yeah,
like Brewer, Smith, those are all
yeah.
human names made from kind of fantasy jobs and historical jobs. So
Mm-hmm.
malter, someone who works with malt,
Mm.
figured it was a good human. They're like, civilized last name.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But he doesn't have to be human. I really didn't give a
No, it's fine.
description of
I just didn't know if it
him.
was a haha or not.
Should I? We probably should, right?
Well, if it is a haha, his name would have to be Molter because Fadari
Malter.
only have one name traditionally, unless he married
Yeah. No, I think
someone
human.
and took that person's last name.
I think Polly Malter should be so. Let me tell the story first, and then we'll come back to Polly Malter. So, quick introductions. They're on the patio of his house. Polly and Carlisle on the patio of his house that connects his private docks to his private docks, sitting in chairs, talking and smoking pipes of tobacco. When the Sienna docks, they help tie down, and introductions are made as Darius informs Carlisle of the cutthroats' settled debt. And then I was going to write out some dialogue for Darius, but then Polly, when he's described, I had written this first. Polly
Mm-hmm.
describing Port Zareth. The hanging cages are full, jam-packed with both residents and visitors that did not appease Wyvern's captain. I asked around quickly for sure so I could leave as soon as possible. This woman, captain, which we don't know her name yet, is her
Mm-hmm.
name, started off just being difficult, but apparently that quickly devolved into straight madness. She flaunted her riches and used it to gain debts, which were then dangled over the heads of those mixed up with her. Even in my short stay, I saw her slaughter a young boy that was accused of stealing from one of her drunk pirates.
Oh,
Bad bitch,
bad
right?
bitch.
Bad
Bad
bitch.
bitch making bad
And
decisions.
then
About to
I
get
kind of put
fucked up.
in I kind of put in Carlisle's opinion so you could like have the DM can role play Carlisle in this conversation, and
Mm-hmm.
he would chime in at some point and say, "I don't doubt that Wavern is unstable or power hungry, but nothing I have seen from her tells me this is in her design.
Yeah.
Her ambitions are too grand to focus on such torturous tactics. If you ask me, she needs to focus on evading the interest of the Empire, even at its diminished influence.
Mm-hmm.
When the dwarves move, they move in force. Nah, I bet this captain name is too much enjoying the powers of her post. Power
Yeah.
of her post. Hey, Puma.
Hello, Puma.
So, and that's going to be cool because this kind of links to the journal. Like hopefully they'll get the journal at some point, um, and they'll understand better why Carlisle has this um, um, information or opinion of Wavern. Yeah, yeah, come on in.
Yeah, come on, Puma. Come hang out with us.
Come vibe, as some of the young kids say.
As some of the young folk would announce.
Okay, Polymalter. So Polymalter, I don't know. He needs to be kind of I think he needs to be kind of a strong figure. Like
Mm-hmm.
I see more of like a larger, not diminutive feature. So
Hello.
Hello.
howdy.
How's it going, on?
Looking on.
We're doing good. How about you? Did you happen to catch kind of the recap and where we are?
No, I did not.
Okay. The pirate group. So initially Port Zareth taken over by the Pirate Queen. Then the pirate group, the PCs leave with Darius. They find pirates that owe Darius money, and they go off and do the loot ships quest. Now they've come back to Carlisle, and this is definitely going to be more role playing and more kind of story driven part of this chapter at the end, where one of Carlisle's friends, Polly Malter, is recounting his last trip through Zareth, where the captain of Wavern has become kind of a tyrannical figure.
Yeah.
Hopefully, then giving the PCs the need to free Zareth of her control.
Mm-hmm.
Polyhuman. I don't know how to do this. What have you been working on, Puma? I'm gonna have you and Beth talk a little bit while I get
Sure,
things.
I'm working on my game.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
been
how
doing-
did that go? Did you get more stuff done?
Yeah, so I gave up on trying. So I'm making a video game.
Mm-hmm.
I gave up on trying to implement someone else's pathfinding, and instead have started to build my own pathfinding, essentially AI for my enemies. I'm just starting really simple. It's still not good enough. There are moments where the enemies just don't move. When they've like hit a certain number of walls and they don't know how to get around it. But for the most part, it's kind of working.
Mm-hmm.
I just managed to implement enemy on enemy collision so that enemies don't go into the same space as each other.
Okay.
Which in a gridded combat game essentially reduces two enemies into one if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Are they still like the happy and sad faces?
Yes, they are still the happy and sad face balls just running around the grid.
Just little angry balls.
Yeah, the art doesn't matter much right now if I can't get the code to work.
Right.
So
I love
I
that
do
it
want
was
it to
doing-
look.
Gio said, so what exactly do we need for Port Zareth? We need to come up with a name for the captain.
Yep, we do need that.
Yeah, and if you're talking about my game, then I'd love if you would come up with some fast, efficient, and simple pathfinding algorithms. So good luck with that.
Yeah, I can't help you with that one. That one's not a me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was talking
Yes.
Geostellar.
Male or female? She is a female. She's a bad bitch who got a little too big for her britches.
We don't even know a race yet, so she could be half
Yeah.
orc, dark elf, like who knows?
Totally,
She
right.
could be anything. Dark elf probably wouldn't work in the pirate camp. She could
Yeah.
be.
She can be anything
Why-
other than Fadari.
Well, anything OGL. That's actually very important. Or our own
Yeah.
race. Yeah, but
Yeah,
she shouldn't
anything SRD or
be SRD. Yeah.
Sure.
but she can't be like Olga, one of the Norse personifications of the waves. Okay, that could work.
Allow Buffy. I see what we can do with that. So we have to do SRD races.
Yeah. But she shouldn't be like a gnome or a halfling. She needs to be something like big and scary.
Sure. Dragonborn? Always fun. Do any of those all?
Well, Poppy's a dragonborn.
Poppy's a dragonborn.
Wavern is a human.
Which is confusing. I'm not just that. You
So I
made
don't
your
think we.
character named Waver human.
Oh, Wavern is the pirate queen. That's the big bad guy.
No, I know who she is.
I can do
it's
Kolga.
just-
I can do Kolga as a Leonin. I don't believe is SRD.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
so,
think
but-
Tabaxi
Yeah, that's
is.
definitely
Either.
not
So why does it
Yeah,
have to be
that's not-
SRD?
because we're gonna sell this book.
Well,
Yeah,
okay, fair enough. So all characters in book, but then how do we have Fodari?
because we made those.
Fadari is like homemade race, homebrew race.
Oh, so we have to do either a homebrew race or
Right.
SRD. Okay, I see.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
so
fine enough. There's
Geostellar, I'm assuming you're asking what SRD is. So there's a great long document that they've put out called the source reference document, something like that.
It's
Um,
standardized reference document.
There you go. Thank you. Which lists all the things you're allowed to copy from the published rulebook legally into your own content that you sell, as long as you include the fact that you are using SRD, and there's this whole little blurb you have to include. It allows us to use a lot of things.
We actually have it right here.
Would be able to use, yeah.
Okay, so it looks like we can use the standards, so like human, half elves, half orcs, dwarves, elves, gnomes, halflings. We can use sub races, so like deep dwarves, mountain dwarves, aquatic elves, dark elves, wild elves, deep gnomes, forest gnomes, whatever. We can also use orcs, goblins, hobgoblins, bugbears, gnolls, kobold, troglodytes, lizard folk, and merfolk. We can also use centaurs, minotaurs, whoa, gargoyles, grimlocks, giants, ogres, and trolls, and satyrs.
There is one trick.
Yeah.
There's one trick that helps out a lot, and that is SRD. It's right here. System reference document 5.1 is the 5e SRD, but that's not the only one that you can reference other SRDs. And so some of the other SRDs, there's Pathfinder SRDs, and then there's earlier edition SRDs. So you can. Someone's really staticky.
Is that me?
I don't know.
It's gone now. I think it was you, but it's gone now.
Apologize.
So like you can, I've used like for boggles and stuff. I use Pathfinder SRD. You just have to look. There's even like I think there's a Die 20 SRD website that combines all the SRDs into one. Minotaur wouldn't really work for the captain, female captain, because she's a pirate, and there's that whole memes about. There's all the jokes about Minotaurs on boats. Like I'm sure.
Well, that's exactly why we want to do it. I you know, what you claim to be a problem, I claim to be a solution. But
I think having that NPC in the game is worthy and should happen, but I don't think it should be such a evil like the villainous character.
Yeah, she's gonna be.
Sure. I can respect that. I really want there to be a ship where the first mate is a gargoyle who hangs out in front of the boat like one of the statues.
That's a fucking great idea.
We could do that with the elves.
Geo, imagine horses on a wet wooden deck. I think they don't have the ability to grab. They don't have the ability to grab onto ropes and people like back.
You're talking about centaur. We're talking about minotaurs.
Minotaurs are.
Well, I mean,
Minotaurs have hands, but they still have hooves, though, don't they? But they can can they wear shoes? Oh, they have regular feet?
I thought they had hooves to the bottom ones.
It depends. They'll make it work. Look, I get centaurs not being the thing.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was a little mixed up.
And I can also respect us wanting the evil character to not be a meme, so I can back that up. It would be cool to have a Minotaur pirate somewhere in the
we can make that happen.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, not being a meme.
We could make the chef for the dwarves be a Minotaur. We've got 4 other pirate factions that will be in the second half. So we've got a Fadari group of pirates. We've got elves, the Thespians, the Larkspur Thespian Society. We've got the Saltbeard Brothers, the Drunken Dwarves, and actually the Wormtongue Wares could work if they have a gargoyle and a minotaur.
Do we have access to any snake people? You said lizard, but
yeah, lizard folk, and I read somewhere that we could use Yanti, but then I read somewhere else that we couldn't.
Oh man, Yanti pirates would be so cool and such a good villain.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, or
There's
changelings. Changelings are SRD, I think.
And technically, if we have changelings, then we have everything.
Exactly.
yeah,
This is really messed up.
slow descent into madness.
Yeah, if you have changelings SRD, that means every race is
Hey,
SRD.
I think the Minotaur should be on the Larkspur Thespian Society and should be like the Bard Minotaur.
I can get behind that for sure.
I could
You know,
for sure get behind
100%,
that.
right?
Yeah. If we're gonna meme, we're gonna meme all the way.
Do we have any
We
shifters?
do have were stuff. Yes, we actually have a were shark,
Yes.
but he's already a captain of one of the ships.
Sophie is drawing him.
That's
next
Captain
Monday.
Snaggletooth. Oh, does she know it? She needs to know his name because
Yeah.
he needs to have Snaggletooth.
Yeah.
A shark with a snaggletooth. Yeah, totally.
She's
Totally.
drawing him the way that like Maui looks in Moana when he like half shifts with like a shark head and like fin hands.
Yes.
All right, so we can't do Yahtzee, but lizard folk could be cool. I'm still like the gargoyle idea, especially for like this villain. I don't know if the crew matters.
I
that
like the
much.
gargoyle. No, I like that too. Obviously, we shouldn't all have it all. I mean, we could just make the Larkspur Thespian Society just this ridiculous cast and crew.
I want the gargoyle.
But we could spread it out.
I want the gargoyles. Yeah, I want it to be spread out because like the Thespian Society is supposed to be show off, and the gargoyle is kind of like one of those like characters that you can use really well in the same way like Pirates of the Caribbean has like the number of characters who like become part of the boat. There's a creepiness and control factor to that. There's an unexpected angle that we can really use there that's like unnerving. So I think that should be saved for like non-thespian evil people.
So the 3.5 SRD has Nagas in it.
If we want to somehow choose that. Yeah, I do want to choose like an interesting race. I definitely am like partial to that.
I do think the changeling for this captain could work. It kind of fits with her with her like ability to completely kind of mentally destroy these people in this port. Like they don't know what's happening because she seems to know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because she can change her form and act as like just an innocent merchant in the town or something.
Yeah.
And she gets to hear all the rumors.
Mm-hmm.
That works really well, actually, Gio.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. The thumbs up on that one.
We'll have a deception-based.
Bonjour,
and of course, when she falls, changelings when they fall, they revert back to their true form, don't they? I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Gio, do you know?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they do.
I think they kind of just look like albino humans.
They do, yeah. They look like very featureless humans, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
If someone moonbeams her, that is going to be a ton of hurt. Bonsoir. Hey, Drahark, do you
we have a...
do you have power back?
All right, I'm going to eat this this granola bar real quick because it's time for me and I can eat.
Yay, how exciting. Wow, how exciting for you. Bonsoir. Moonbeam does double damage on shifted or transformed creatures and forces them to reveal their form, which would be an awesome moment.
Yeah,
what level is it though?
3 to 4. Moonbeam, I think, is a second level spell. I think maybe even first. It's lower.
So, can we have the gargoyle be the first mate of this lady?
Of the of this captain?
Yeah.
So changeling and a gargoyle?
That would be a big it would be a story contribution, but that's fine.
Yeah, that would be like a power.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be mechanical. It's not like
well, no, it would be. Because eventually, if they're taking over Port Zareth, they're going to have to fight both the gargoyle and the captain.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Because this Port Zareth chapter is going to be pretty much map different groups of people at different places. You know, very much like a strategic raid style thing.
Mm-hmm.
That the gargoyle's position and abilities and everything is going to have to be pretty well described. But I'm perfectly fine for it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Second level spell for druids and certain paladins. Nice.
Make the town gothic as hell. It can't be. It's a pirate town. It's literally like fucking finagled together.
Drew. Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Philip.
that's me.
Colin. Oh, you're Drew? You're
There's
no Drew.
Drew, Beth, who is the third voice, Puma. Yeah, so Colin. Wave hello, Colin.
Hello. I
And
think he
then-
thought my voice was
yeah.
and
And then me.
Yeah.
And then, yes, Puma's here.
Okay. I want a merchant name, a name for Polly Malter's merchant ship.
Mm,
Can be in any language. It could just be like some word in a language. It could be anything.
Who's Polly Malter?
Polly Malter is the friend of Carlisle who stopped by and is recounting the story of what's going on in Port Zareth.
Sure.
Yeah, totally. I agree. I mean, Geo, the gargoyle could be anywhere, you know, and they put all of. Okay. Yeah, sure.
what
I like that too.
what level would a gargoyle be
I think it's CR5. It should be fine for this group.
for them? Because I was gonna say, what if her like whole like crew is like change? It's like she's a changeling and everyone else is like
Puma.
gargoyles. Or
Yeah,
like
Colin,
the
Queen
scare
Beth, and
factor.
Puma. Yeah, no, I like that. I would say though, also, I think it should be a dichotomy. It should be the gargoyle spends some time hiding and spying, but it also, like in points where she needs to intimidate someone, or like,
Mhm.
then he's right by her side. You know, just like hulking, intimidating. He's right there whenever she needs to be.
Bolstered.
So, yeah. So I like that. She could be out spying, and they could both be out spying together in different fashions. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to go to chapter 3 and take some of these notes down so we don't forget it. So, to the top. Oh, is that to the top of? Donnie made these chapter titles.
Did he? Some of these don't make any sense, so I don't know what we're supposed to do there.
But we did kind of think that getting to Poppy's that's where the captain has taken up, right? She's kind of sent Poppy away and has taken over Poppy's house.
So we did talk about
Did
the
she kill him?
no. So we talked about the party getting there right as he has like had fucking enough. Like that enough people came to them and he finally was like, we have to do something. And like a crowd of people showed up and like she was like, what are you gonna do? Fight me, old man? And he tried, but she like I think what did we say that she like kicked his knee in or something? Like she fought real fucking dirty and then like cut his dreads off and put him in a cage like in the center of town and have people like watching him 24/7 so that nobody can help him.
Should we say those events happen pretty much the night, day they get there to the island? So if the group delays, they don't get to witness it.
Yeah.
Right? So unless they're observing, unless they're trying to get information and observe, they won't witness those events.
Yeah, or maybe he did it right after the kid is killed. So he's in the cage in the center of town already.
That's fine too. That'd be
when
easier.
They get there.
Yeah, that'd be easier for sure.
And they basically need to, they go to find like where is Poppy, and people start like hiding and like not like nobody wants to talk to them, and then maybe they run into someone that they've met before in Port Zareth. So like maybe Attic the Fadari, because the tavern would still be open. It would just have like a bunch of shitty pirates in it. So maybe they like go into the tavern or go into a store or
They could go any. We need to. I mean, really, we're gonna have to set the scene that they can go anywhere.
yeah, they can go wherever, but there has to be like only like one or two people who will talk to them.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing kind of what DM Dave does, where we'll have a die 6 list of rumors. So if they get to like a tavern or somewhere, the DM just rolls on a die 6 to figure out which rumor, what kind of information they can get from a particular area in town.
Yeah.
And one of the rumors will be like maybe two of them will be based on the story of Poppy and this captain's
encounter. Yeah, like maybe they overhear somebody talking about it, like I was there, like I saw what she did, like he tried so hard, and like maybe she's like a little sniffly, like Poppy never did anything, like he's so good to us and she just hurt him like that, like or maybe he's hurt too, because that would kind of increase the urgency of like needing to rescue him. If she like if she fought dirty and fucked his knee up and like broke his leg and he's sitting in like a dirty cage.
Oh, sorry, Gio. I saw your thing, but I was waiting till we had a break. It's not
sorry.
a merchant. It's not a merchant building. It's a merchant ship. So it'd be like a ship name. Changeling captain that spies on town.
Luna's Light Tavern.
And then Gargoyle, first mate, rides on front of ship. And that'll be one of the rumors too. That'll be, or that could be like an actual investigation check at some point.
Yeah, Luna's Light could work.
Yeah, I could do Luna's Light for the ship. I'll get back up in a second. It's right on front of ship. Also spies on town. Several gargoyle statues exist and are randomly moved around. Man, what a lot of painstaking effort just to have good spy. But I mean, like, that's how you be a good captain. Like, if you really, like, information is everything, right?
You going with?
I'm eating them there.
Okay. Can you bring back a chicken sandwich?
PC arrive island. Poppy confronts Captain. They duel, and she fights dirty, taking out his knee and cutting. That's not how you spell knee. And cutting off his dreads. He is now hanging, beaten in a cage. And then rumors, investigation checks about duel. Gargoyle. And cap. Okay. Back up. Oh, see you, Puma.
Okay, bye.
Puma showing up to my table.
There's a bunch of people showed up to your house like, it is time.
We must consume.
Let's.
This merchant ship, Luna's Light, is angular and sleek, with shimmering silver. No, that'd be stupid.
Maybe like metallic paint.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but merchant ships wouldn't want to reflect the light of the sun and give away their position. Like, it'd be a lot easier to see a ship in the horizon if the sun is like coming off the reflection.
Maybe the words like painted on the side are in like a metallic paint. So, or on the back, like it's on the back of the ship.
The paint on the back of the ship is what?
Like the name on the ship
Mm.
is like burned in but painted, and so that's the part that's like shiny. Something sort of crimson blood moons. Yeah, like red and a little bit of silver. That is mahogany.
How about the lines? The ropes will be crimson.
Okay, take a look. You don't need to be in that skit. One. Ollie is.
I think that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Sus is good.
Yeah.
All right, so we still need a name for the changeling captain. There's a lot I that. Yeah. What is the name of the captain?
Yvette.
Okay.
Yvette sounds.
But let's change it up a little bit.
Ivania.
Yvelt.
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 So as a changeling, what form does she take? That's another question. What form does she take normally? Like, what's her normal form? Not her natural form, but her normal.
Yeah, but what does everybody think that she is? We could do, in that case, the lion-looking thing.
The Leonin? That's not SRD though.
But she wouldn't. Is that like gray area? Because she's not. She wouldn't technically be one. Just looks like one. Or maybe she looks like a hybrid.
We could say lion folk. We could just say lion folk. Lionkin. We can say things like that.
Uh-huh. Or maybe a gnoll? Like a gross hyena lady?
But I don't think so, just because, one, we got to think of Wyvern choosing to elevate this person as a captain, and it's probably not just based on her actions, but also as based on her charisma and persona.
Right, so she's probably put on a really good face in front of Wyvern.
Correct. Exactly.
So she might look like something else to Wyvern and look like something completely different.
To the townspeople once Wyvern left?
Yeah. That could be part of the rumors. Like, somebody saw her get off the boat and saw, like, her talking to Wyvern, and they were like, I swear she didn't look like that. Like, I swear, like, she... Like, the person that they put in charge is not this woman, because this woman does not look like her.
If that's true, I think the only real option for her race then is Dragonborn, because she would probably know that Poppy the Dragonborn has been elected the unofficial leader of Zareth, or like made the unofficial leader. So maybe she feels being a Dragonborn also will somehow subconsciously have the townsfolk respect her in some,
right, like win her some kind of favor. Geo said, I was wrong, Moonbeam doesn't do double damage on transformed creatures. It is a shapeshifter, makes its saving throw with disadvantage. If it fails, it also instantly reverts to its original form and can't assume a different form until it leaves the spell's light. Yeah.
Would still be a really cool part of the encounter.
Yeah.
But I think Dragonborn, I think it's Dragonborn.
But maybe
so
like... I'm wondering if like... So if she looks like... Does she look like him? Like, does she have, like, did she pick the same color? Like, did she pick similar features?
I don't think so. I don't think that obvious.
But just a Dragonborn.
Just a Dragonborn. Probably, what color was he? White? He was white, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Probably like a blue, maybe?
or black? Put in some.
Black would work because Wyvern is black.
She is.
Black.
Black.
Black dragon. Black dragon. Cool. So we still need a name. And it would be a fake name, but she would have a name as a dragonborn as this character. So Efelt. What about what are their like dragonborn last names?
Yeah, I don't know if she would need a fake name because nobody would know who she is. The only people who would know that she can change are her crew.
We don't have to give her a last name too. Nyx isn't bad. I don't oppose Nyx.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have to have a last name.
Oh, I thought you said a fake name.
Well, I was thinking a fake name because if like dragonborn names are really specific, then it would make sense to have a dragonborn last name in your persona.
Gotcha.
But I think maybe we just keep it a first name.
Yeah.
Maybe she just doesn't tell people her last name. Okay.
Ooh, okay. What if the person that like Poppy met, right? So like Wyvern says, okay, like I'm leaving this captain here to like take over the port. And she's in charge now. And Poppy says, okay, like that's cool, that's fine. And then that person disappears, right? So the crew is still there, but then all of a sudden this dragonborn shows up and is like, I killed her, I'm in charge now. But it's not.
That's a little convoluted. I think that
much.
might hang up a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess my only thing is just that I feel like Wyvern would introduce her to Poppy.
Yeah. As a dragonborn.
But if she doesn't show herself as a dragonborn to Wyvern.
No, I think she should. I think Wyvern should know her.
Oh, know that she's a changeling?
Yeah. That's the only way we could do it that way with the rumor. But I think it makes sense.
Yeah, that she
I think it makes
saw
sense
her.
that she knows she's a changeling. Yeah, she just knows. She just knows that's who her true self is. And she's fine with it. It's a good captain. It's a very useful captain. So that's why she got chosen for this mission, because she knew that this captain was suitable for staying on land and gaining information. Makes sense.
Especially since it's so close to the Empire. Like, she would need somebody who can...
Yep, exactly.
Like, hear if there's any... stuff going on.
In that instance, we need to make sure there's some way. Maybe they have sending stones. This captain has a sending stone for communicating with Wyvern. Once they defeat her, they now have half the set of sending stones that Wyvern has.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, what form do we think but she still wouldn't be in her changeling form on Wyvern's crew, probably. She'd still have a regular form that she takes.
Yeah.
I think orc would be fine. Or half orc.
Yeah.
I think half orc would be good.
Yeah.
She starts, let me say, in front of Wyvern. Usually she takes a half orc form on Wyvern's crew. but changed to a dragon born. Ship. So
Gia said, so this chapter could have a detective figuring out the conspiracy of the town feel as opposed to the high sailing stuff.
yeah, there is going to be, I think that's kind of what I'm starting to envision this as. It's very much going to be recon and information gathering, rumors, getting a lay of the land before they figure out how they're going to take back the port. And so what's going to have to accompany this is pretty much a big layout map of Port Zareth that has numbers of different groups that are like different groups of pirates, little encounters. So you can imagine a group kind of making their way through the streets quietly, trying to take out different little pods of pirates that are under the service of this captain.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put in the random thing that the gargoyle could be any one of his like 4 or 5 outposts.
Yeah.
And so if they just happen to take on a group of pirates under the eye of the gargoyle will then alert everyone else and they'll all fall back to Poppy's manor.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be a very considerable force to overcome, depending on how much work they were able to do throughout the streets.
Yeah, taking.
But that's only one tactic, but that's how the information is going to lead to that as a possibility. And then if they choose to do something else, we'll try to cover all the contingency plans. I mean, this is going to be a big chapter, but I think it's an important, like, this is a very story
forward
chapter.
Yeah, where the last one is more like looting and kind of skill checks, and
it really is like a distraction chapter. Yeah. It's but I love doing that with the campaign. I love like doing serious story stuff and then breaking it up with lighthearted, like extra. It's not too heavy stuff, but then you always got to come back, and it's also a good time like to drive a story that they're a part of the story that they don't need to be involved with. They just come back and certain things have changed.
Yeah.
And that's, it's easy to write that.
Yeah. Excited.
Okay. Let's see here. So we have Polymalter, the name, Evelt. So I just got to go back. This woman got her name. What's her name?
Iveta.
Evelta. Evelta. You want to make it Evelta?
Sure.
Evelta. That kind of sounds Norse.
Exotic.
Maybe. It's exotic for show. Evelta. Now I can't stop saying it.
Like Mama Imelda from Coco.
You really know every single Disney and Pixar movie, don't you?
Sure do.
Doncha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ucha. Ucha.
Ooh, me. It's me. Hi.
Brain.
Have you heard him say, like, I'm sure you've heard him say that when he goes, who?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So.
He's teaching his daughter to say it.
Be careful, Brian. So I discovered my kid, he's 3.5, almost 4. He's 3 3/4. He started just saying what whenever someone said something he didn't understand or didn't hear it all or wasn't paying attention. It's just this what, and we couldn't figure out where he got it. And then I realized that's how I talk to my dog Peppers. When Peppers like is just looking at me with her tail wagging, I'm just like, what do you want? What? And so that's where he picked it up. And now it's just this like people are talking to him. He's just like, what?
Huh?
Like a loud, aggressive, just like, what?
That's funny. My sister, her son just turned 3, I think, and well, her older one, and they were doing something in the living room, and Jesse was like, that's her fiance. She was like, let's count, and Jesse was like, 1, 2, 3. What comes next? And Dawson went, fuck, and he was like, nope, that's not it.
My boss, him and his wife, just they cuss in front of their kid, and I'm just waiting for him to pick it up because
Yes.
he's going to,
Yeah, for sure.
for sure.
Yeah. We have a friend who has 3 kids, and one of them is in the process of learning to speak. The other one is a baby, and then the other one is like 6. And like the middle one, his name is Maverick. He's so free. Yeah, Maverick. His name is like, oh, he's so cute. He'll like, he was on the couch and he like looked over the couch and I was like, hi. And he goes, hi. And like, he'll like ask for things and be like, and has, and then I'll be like, hi. And he'll just go, hi. He's so freaking cute when he's not like screaming his brain out like of his skull. And like, you know, in Disney movies, right? When like the princess is like, "No, daddy, I love him." And then like throws themselves down on like a couch and like cries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does that.
My buddy, my son, he has his tantrums. The only
Yeah.
tantrums he ever has is when we get serious with him and we get like
Oh.
stern. As soon as we're like, Calvin, I said no, he just
He's
fucking
not.
cannot handle it. And then Beth, you're gonna melt at this.
I'm
And then
ready.
he always, especially when he's really mad, he always has a string of questions he asks. Are you still happy? Are you mad at me? Do you still love me? And then he always asks, are you still sorry? And we'll say, I still love you. I'm not mad. I'm happy. But I'm not sorry. I didn't do anything wrong. We always have to answer in that way.
You did it. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah,
my heart.
when he's crying, it's always like, Tia, are you sorry? Do you love me? Are you mad?
Do you still love me?
And you have to sit there and smile so he knows you're really not mad.
Mm-hmm. You're like, no, I would love to rip your all kinds of stuff.
I've explained spankings to him. Like I'm not opposed to spankings. I think that they are a tool to like discipline, but I mean, he's such a good kid. He's such a good kid. He hasn't done it yet.
Did you know that fun fact, spanking is actually illegal in Germany?
That doesn't surprise me. Like, it's one of those things that like it's risk versus reward, you know, like the risk is the people who take it too far, and the reward is discipline that you could probably find in other ways. There's other ways to discipline a kid. But
right. Or, you know, just don't be a shitty kid. I was spanked like twice in my whole life.
I was spanked once. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I think, honestly, the one thing me and my wife do really well and that has helped is that we really don't get frustrated with him that often. Like, even when he's being annoying and frustrating, we don't get heated and we don't get frustrated.
Okay, bye, Phil.
And I think it's definitely come across in his personality that he is just, one, he doesn't question authority really as much.
Yeah.
Because he knows that we're just trying, I don't know.
I was never hit as a kid. Were you a bad kid or were you a good kid? Because, like, my sister got soap in the mouth many times. But, like, I was a fucking angel. Jark said I was spanked daily. You were probably a shitty kid. That makes perfect sense to me that you were like an awful child. Probably putting like frogs in people's lockers and bringing home worms. Like, I bet that was you. I was kind of a shitbag during like the terrible twos time, but not in like the way that normal kids are. Like, I didn't like scream and cry for like no reason. Like one time my grandma and my mom were
Ryan,
like
that doesn't surprise me one bit.
right. That like they were at a shop somewhere, like having dinner or having lunch or whatever. And my grandma had had a cup of coffee and they had given me spaghetti, but they were talking and like not paying attention to me. And I guess I was like annoyed with that, so I started putting the spaghetti noodles like into her coffee. And she like
Did you know
went to
Carlisle meant from the walled city? Sorry, I know that's really
No, I did not.
because I spelled it wrong. I've spelled it wrong throughout this entire thing, I think.
I can go back and fix it.
Fuck me sideways with a lunchbox.
Dang it. But yeah, like I did like low key shitty stuff like that, where she like went to take a drink and then all of a sudden her cup was full of spaghetti noodles. Whereas like my sister tried to kill me, like like there are different kinds of bad, you know. She was like a demon child, but her son is that way. Her older son, we don't know how the little one's gonna be yet, but Dawson is when he's with my parents, like when he's with grandma and papa, like he is fucking perfect. Like because Tammy will beat the fuck out of him. She
Oh,
don't give
good,
a
I spelled
shit
it right all the way there.
because my stepmom is from like a farming family in Vermont, where like they are raised to be like hard ass people, and she was like, "Fuck you up in a second." Don't give a shit. She like wrestled cows when she was younger. Like she'll take you down. But yeah, I found out that it was illegal here. Apparently, like, it was at like a coffee thing that they did for like new people who had just come in, and they were like, for all of you who have children, like, just be aware, like, if you are out in public or like out on the base, and someone who is German, like if they're an employee or if it's like a citizen or whoever it is, if somebody sees you, like they will call Child Protective Services on you because it is not allowed here. She was like, so beat your kids in private. But I don't know. Like I said, I was a good kid. I didn't ever have to really get spanked. I had good grades. I made a PowerPoint to get my first cell phone. Like, I was a nerd. It was like a slideshow of why I should have one. Like,
I was the youngest of 4 on my dad's side, but after divorced parents, and my dad remarried right away. So I was spoiled. For sure.
You were the baby.
Mm.
You know, I'm technically the oldest. I found out that I have a half brother when I was like 13, I think. His name is Rob. He lives in Georgia, and he's super chill and like super cool. But up until that point, and even like none of us like lived together, and like after I think yeah, right around when I was like 13, I think. Like he never lived with my dad or like my family or anything like that. I think he lived with my dad for a little while when he was like a little older, but I didn't live with him at that point. I lived with my grandparents. So like there was never really a time when like the three of us ever lived together. But like during the summer times we would all like get up and hang out. Or before we left, like they came to my house. And that was an experience. To have my dad, my stepmom, my niece who was 2, my sister, her fiance who was boyfriend at the time, their 2-year-old, plus she was pregnant, my brother and his girlfriend, like in our house. It was a lot. It was a lot of people. But
We use Clossum.
We did.
No, we don't. We have Clossum and Crabulus. Wow, we are just
Hey,
full of them.
we are
That's
just having
crazy.
it.
Just kind of going through some of this.
Mm-hmm. I did have to edit some of it when I was going through it in the Google Doc. Like there were like misspelled words or like things like
Mhm.
sentences that were like doubled or like like you started to write them and then like backtracked and rewrote them, but like didn't delete the whole sentence. Like
That's
so
me.
yeah.
I do that.
So I went through and edited quite a bit.
I
I think we're
what
at
we're gonna
26 pages. Something like
I
that.
think what we'll do is once we have a working version,
Mhm.
we'll put it up in the Google Drive,
Mhm.
and any member of the guild can go in and you can comment on a PDF on Google Drive. So then
You can do that
people
in the
can
doc too.
comments on Google Doc. Yeah, yeah, Google Docs would work too. But yeah, either way.
Yeah.
Either
I just
way.
need all the new stuff that's been put in. Since you sent
Yeah,
me the other file. Yeah. BRB, I'm gonna grab some coffee real fast. I think my husband made me some, but I don't know if he did or not.
He probably started and then didn't finish.
Yeah, and then left.
Carlisle's gonna say, "I'm a boy. We will talk about it over some of Markle's brew." Was his name a Polly? Polly was just telling me of the latest there. All right. So Darius says, "Father, you may consider Captain Snaggletooth's debt repaid. And boy, do we have a story for you. I'm a boy. We will talk about it over some of Markle's brew tonight. But for now, Polly was just telling me of the latest from Zareth. Polly, you mind starting over for Darius? That gets us on track for the story." Show enough, show enough. Okay, so Polly's story. I'm gonna move talking points up. How do I make this? Do. Okay, so talking points. These relevant facts can be gained by the PCs with skill checks or worked into conversation with Carlisle and Polly. Captain Snags is still present, so he may also chime in with more information. I wonder if we should do another title about here. Maybe I'll do Colin discussion. Group discussion. This is a good time for This discussion will require a good deal of RP from both players.
I have returned
and
with
DM.
snack meat coffee.
Did so? Was I right? He made coffee, but he just didn't finish making coffee.
I think he didn't. He said he was like, "Yeah, I'll do it, babe," and then he just like left.
This
Like,
discussion
cool,
will require a
thanks.
good deal of RP from both players and the GM. Acting as PCs.
In my coffee cup. Yep.
No, I didn't see it. Do it again.
Ta-da!
B. A little
Oh,
B.
it says "Be sweet."
Be sweet.
Okay. I have a collection of coffee cups. Sweet caffeine.
What was the most recent report? Has Wavern out near the western edge of her territory? Near her. Okay, where's her chapel? Her chapel's on the west side, right?
Mm-hmm. But the island that's what it's called. I named it yesterday. Give me a second. Oh. It's called Give me a second.
Because it's silly or because you can't find it?
Nope, because it's silly. I was asking Kaz what I should name it, and he was what I should name something, and he was like Ma General Store, and I was like, what? And he was like Ma MAW General Store, because it was something about caves, maybe something, and he was like, so I named it like Majen Real Store.
Majin Ralster.
Yeah, I wrote it down. Hang on, I got it.
Majin. I can see how it'd be.
It's like
Ralstor. Malgene
it's
Ralstor.
uh
Or Majin.
close. Give me one second.
But this is the name of an island?
Yeah, Majen Roster.
Is there a W or no?
I think so.
Majin. But not Jean, Jin.
Yeah, Jen.
Majin
Roster. Yeah. Twas aha.
But it has nothing to do with a general store. Is that the joke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Majin.
Yeah. MAWGENRILSTOR.
RIL?
Mm-hmm.
Real store?
Yeah.
Majin store. Okay.
We also needed a name for the big Fadari city and the dwarven capital on Kenza.
Dwarven capital has a name. I thought it was on Ingfist's map that he had put a name of the capital.
Oh, is it on his? Okay.
Mariner's Point?
Okay.
I think Mariner's Point is the capital.
Is that Oh, okay. That's not the capital, though. That's the Fadari city.
Really?
Unless that is the capital.
It doesn't have to be. What's the capital? Hal's Fort? Not. Port Caller, Falnar, Varuna could be the. Varuna could be the capital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just always imagined it being at Mariner's Point, but it just
Well, yeah, Varuna would make more sense because it's near the mountains. Or like the little hill area.
Oh, what is that? Something's written next to that mountain. I gotta go find this now.
Yeah, can you send that to me or drop it into the Google Drive? Because I don't actually have that now.
Yeah, I have to find it.
And then I can update the other one. More Pacific-y.
Pacific-y?
Pacific-y.
On the Pacific?
Are you going to be returning for the town hall later today?
Yeah, I can. I don't know for how long I can.
I don't expect it to be that long. It's probably going to take 30 minutes max.
The ruins of Balan. There's a ruins, but we don't need that. Kel's Fort could be a capital. It's in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Varuna, maybe. I think it would make more sense if like Kel's Fort's the capital, and Varuna is just more of a, hey Puma, welcome back.
You have returned.
I have. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I feel like that would make sense to put it right in the middle of the stuff, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Kel's Fort. Why were we thinking about the capital again?
Oh, because we're trying to figure out the. Okay, so Mariner's Point is not the same as Dursa.
Durson?
Durson?
Yeah, no, it's not the same. So Mariner's Point could be the Fadari.
Yeah.
City.
I don't know. I'll have to.
But by city, do you mean free Fadari, or is this like the Fadari camp?
No, there's like the Fadari, like
tribal city.
Yeah, like they're big. Well, no, because I mean,
You think that would be in like the jungly forest over here?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder. I feel like
they're gonna, because it won't be till the second part of the book that they actually go on to Kenza. Most of this first half is gonna be on Lolai and like the other like islands, like Alamor's Tooth and Lolai, and like any other like weird islands that they kind of find along the way. And then the Cathedral Island. But the second half, there'll be like a good bit of sailing around because they have to do like the side quests for the factions. But then like the war quest between the rebel Fadari and the dwarves will be on Kenza, and they'll have to kind of go back and forth and decide if they're gonna.
You're cutting out some. I think you might be.
Yeah, you're also cutting out from.
Oh, sorry.
Wyvern's forces in Zareth number about 20 to 25 with a single ship. Single ship, yeah. What other would be like talking points for this conversation as they're discussing Zareth?
So is it just between Holly and?
No, it's everyone now. I'm trying to make
everyone's having a discussion. Okay.
Discussion, yeah.
So Holly comes up and he's like, "Hey, this is what happened." Is he coming to Carlisle for help, or is he just telling them what he's heard?
he's telling what he heard. Like he witnessed a little bit, but yeah, he's just telling mostly what he
He
heard.
got out. Okay. So there needs to be a reason why they would go back and even help Port Zareth in the first
Right.
place. So I'm wondering if maybe Carlisle and Poppy are like old friends because they both were pirates, right? So
Yep.
maybe Poppy was like his captain back in the day.
Okay.
And they're
Maybe
both
not captain, but maybe they just work together for a bit. They have
yeah,
yeah
like
have
yeah,
a
maybe they were
professional history.
yeah, and they were friends and they just haven't really talked to each other in a while, but um they still keep contact every now and then, you know.
Concerned for his safety.
Yeah.
And then let's even throw in that Captain Snags has been slighted by Wavern. He would love to get revenge.
Mhm. Mhm.
That helps with that.
Yeah.
Then the most recent report
Ow.
is Wyvern out near her western edge of her territory, many days from Zareth, near territory near her own base.
Right. But we also
Which
have
would
that she doesn't know what this captain has done because it's not
right.
in her like way. So maybe not just Swavern, but maybe like the Gargoyle and Snags have had like a run in or
So I don't want anyone to give away. I think they need to learn about the gargoyle on their own. I don't
okay,
want
yeah,
them to have any hints about the gargoyle.
right, that it's like too intertwined. Okay.
I mean, maybe if they got like a really good history check.
Maybe the
I don't
history
think
check
so. I
just
don't think
tells them that
Delta.
she has a really good spy in her midst who seems to be everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
That'd probably be more of an investigation check, right?
Yeah. But like investigation would be more like this person was at this place at this time because I only had this conversation at this
Mhm.
place at this time. Whereas like a history of her group of
Yeah,
people, like they have risen through the ranks so fast because they're really good at getting information and nobody knows how they do it.
but I do kind of like the idea though that no one knows anything about Avelta. She's a changeling. She doesn't reveal much about her history and her past. I don't
Right.
think there should be much about her out there.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Other than the fact that this pirate, like that, this captain and her crew are just
Mhm.
known. They don't know anything about her or about the crew other than they are really good at getting information and nobody knows anything about them.
Should that be part of Polly's? So that's something Polly relays that he heard from someone, maybe.
Um,
Because how would anyone know that? Who would know that?
who would know that? I think
Are
that
you
would
saying
be
PCs would know that?
well, if it's a history check and they're supposed to have been pirates before they got here anyway. So they're
Yeah.
supposed to have some backstory of like the area.
Okay.
So maybe if somebody rolls, like an easy, medium, hard kind of history check, like you've heard of Wavern, you know who she is, like you've heard snippets about her in your life thus far. Um, and then like although you're new to the area, like you know or you've heard rumors about her, and this new thing has kind of given you more information. Um, the medium one, like I don't know,
I'm
maybe.
gonna say I'm gonna say Avelta's crew is renowned for their spying and subterfuge skills.
Mhm. Joking.
I say a history check with a difficult DC would allow a PC to know that Avelta's crew is renowned for their spying and subterfuge skills.
Yeah, I would say I would add in there, but not anything specifically about her or the crew.
There is no other information about Velta. Or what? What was the other thing?
So would allow the PC to know that Avelta's crew is renowned for their spying and subterfuge skills, but little is known about her as a person or the crew.
Nothing. I would say nothing. Nothing known about her personally or okay.
Oh, this coffee is giving me life.
I can live. I'm gonna bold some of these names.
Hey, Puma.
Hey.
I don't know if you know this, but we can pretty clearly hear the people in the background.
Let me try to fix that. I may not be able to
Yeah,
do that.
not that like I mind hearing them. It's just I don't know if their conversation is one that you want heard.
Yeah, well, that person is particularly loud. Yeah, I can turn up that. Can you hear them anymore?
Only
No.
when you talk, I think now, and it's pretty quiet when you talk.
Yeah, it's pretty fine.
Yeah, you might have to turn up my volume to counteract that.
Well, no, like I can. If you're talking, then we can't hear them. But if you're being quiet, then she kind of comes through a little bit. Not that I care. I'm just letting you know in case that they're
What
talking
about
about
now?
anything.
Can you hear them
We're
now?
almost done too.
No, we can't.
Great. Oh, we're almost done.
Yeah. Oh, I spelled his name wrong.
Did I tell you guys that Duchess has pink eye?
Oh no.
Because she's a
Don't
gross
let that
princess.
just give you pink eye.
Patrick and I were talking about that earlier. About because she like if you're laying on your side, she likes to crawl like onto you and like lay on your space. And I was like, what if she crawled on you and then like some of her pink eye like dripped into your eye? He was like, I'd cut it out. Cut it right the fuck out. Scoop it out with a spoon. I'm keeping that eye. I don't need it. What are you doing, princess? Well, come here if you want to come here. Come here. Come on. Come here.
It was my second semester, and I know
You did.
Look at this. I like being able to say this. Refer
Hey.
to the supplemental journal, The Devil Dealer, for more of Carlisle and Wavern's story.
Hey.
I should put that out.
Oh, the girl. You are, yeah. You go, princess.
I guess I was able to make myself.
She weighs like 15 pounds. What are you doing? I'm just moving my leg. Calm down.
And then so they have the group conversation. I mean, really, the next thing is the plan forward. So maybe I'll change this. So I'm saying alliance. I'll call this the plan. And then I'll say
Yeah, there's a chapter at the very end, like a sub part that's called the plan, but we can change that.
where?
It's at the very end of the, like in the last chapter.
Oh, that's fine. That can be
Yeah, we can change it.
Yeah. Okay. So the last thing in this chapter is just to talk about either allying with the cutthroats or finding other pirate groups to ally with. It would be. Can you imagine a group that'd just be like, "Well, screw these guys. We're gonna find more pirates."
Yeah, I think
I mean,
I think that's probably why we should make this so urgent. Like to say like the cutthroats are going to help us. They
Mhm.
defeat um what is her name? Evelyn, Ivanta, whatever. Um, and then because again, it's like a time sensitive. Like they need to save Poppy before he gets more sick and dies. Like he's been in the
Mhm.
cage for a couple days, no food, no water. Like people have been trying to sneak him stuff. He's got a broken leg. Like he's in a bad way, and they need to like get to him. And
Mhm.
afterwards, like they just made it. Like between Carlisle and Darius and the party and the cutthroats, like they just managed to get through the city and get them out. And so they're like, okay, we definitely need more help. And so that's when they go and say, okay, we need to find the other pirate crews. And
Right. For
then,
the coalition,
yeah,
right? You're talking about for the coalition, yeah.
yes. And so then they have four options of people that they can do. It's in there that they need to have at least two of them, but they can pursue all four if they so
Mhm,
choose.
mhm.
And then
And most
they,
likely we'll write the chapter about the death of the queen. One of those things where like each of these crew allies are going to have different jobs,
mhm.
either but like the party is probably going to be have encounters that are just special to them. They're not going to be part of like a big battle scene. They're going to be
Yeah.
getting
But
to the queen.
right. So what I have kind of outlined for them is I haven't actually put anything in for the the specific quests for each of the factions.
Right.
That's I was gonna do that today, and then I got stuck playing Monster Hunter with Kaz. um, but that's something I'm gonna write in between now and the town hall. Is kind of what their storylines are gonna be. But once they have however, two or four, whatever amount of the other pirates' crews, then
Mhm,
word gets back to them that Wavern knows what they're doing, that
mhm,
she, like, maybe one of the other crew escaped, right? Like, maybe it was the gargoyle who escaped. Like, somebody escaped and got back to her and told her that she lost Port Zareth. Like, they're building an army to like come after you, and you have
mhm,
people who you've pissed off that are like behind them. And then she's like getting ready, and you kind of realize that like what you have is not enough. Like you need one more. And that's
mhm,
when you get news from the rebel Thadari and the dwarves, like that the dwarves have
mhm,
heard like that you've been doing a bunch of stuff and that you don't like Wavern, and they're like, we are willing to offer you our alliance if you help us with this cargo thing that's going through with these monsters. So we've lost a bunch of people. We don't know what's going on.
mhm.
Like, can you help us? And then shortly after that, that's when you meet what is her name? Like Berna or something like that. And she basically finds the party and says like, "Hey, I heard that you've been contacted by the dwarves, but like this is what's really happening." And
Mhm.
like they told you it's a cargo ship, but it's actually like a drug and
Drug.
slave ship.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
we need you
Yeah.
to help us like to
Mhm.
free those people and to like
Yep.
stop the drug stuff. And that's when you find out about Attic, and that's when you kind of decide, do we want to help the dwarves and continue enslaving the people, or do we
Ooh.
want to
Okay.
like
To make it a little bit more complex, and then we'll end out here because I have other stuff I got to do.
okay.
But to make it more okay, so here's the deal. When they get back from taking back Port Zareth,
Mhm.
obviously they'll probably have to repair their ship, like, regather and everything.
Right.
They'll have an emissary from the dwarfs and asking them for a meeting on the Kinza mainland. And so that'll get them
Yes.
to some point. It doesn't have to be the capital. Probably
Yeah.
it'll be a port city, either Varuna, or for convenience, maybe they'll meet on this side at like Mariner's Point or
Mhm.
Port
Yeah,
Carnac,
somewhere
whatever,
close to Port
somewhere
Zareth.
close. So they go, and in their discussion with the dwarfs through investigation and gathering information, they find that the dwarfs' influence, their strength, isn't what it used to be. Like
Mhm.
they keep getting troops and people recalled, and like their forces and their strength are dwindling down, and so that plays into role with them possibly siding with the Vidari, knowing within. So then they have that meeting, they come back, and then waiting for them at Carlisle's dock again could be the Vidari emissary to tell the real story and do all
Yeah.
that.
And she
Yeah, and
says, like, yes, there is a monster that's taking down their ship, but what they didn't tell you is that some of the reason their crew is missing is because of us. Like, because
yeah,
we're taking back these people that are
yes,
being taken, and like if they're trying to fight us, then like we're gonna do everything we can to save our families. And
hmm,
so then you can choose to be a dickbag and go with the dwarves, or you can go with the Fadari.
yep, cool. That'll be really cool.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun little thing. Okay, we'll get to chapter 3 very soon. I mean, I'll probably,
Yay.
if I don't know if I'm streaming on Friday yet.
Okay.
But if I am, we'll definitely finish it then. If I'm not streaming on Friday, then I'll finish it on my own before next week.
Mhm.
But next week
Okay.
we'll be on chapter 3 for sure.
Yay! So excited. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Well, Dr. Cullen, would you like to say anything to the peeper?
Plug.
Hey.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm working on. I have one children's RPG 5e game out there right now called Fairies of the Mistglade. You can find it on RPG Drive Through RPG. And I'm working on two new games this year. In 2021, we're going to put out two new games. One is mermaid themed with art by the awesome Taz, and the
Yeah.
other is going to be Dino Riders,
Oh,
so kind of caveman dinosaur rider theme. So
very
that's what
cool.
I'm doing. You can check out my website, familyfantasyrpg.com.
Very cool. Much excite.
Much
Or not Colin. Puma, do you have anything you would like to say?
Cool.
No.
Never forget me.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Yep. Have a good day, man.
All
Have a
right,
great
bye.
day, everyone.
Yeah, thanks. We are having our town hall in 2 hours. So if you would like to be a part of that, feel free to attend the Discord. It will be recorded. Excuse me. It will be recorded in case you miss it, you want to see it later. Um, come hang out with us. And yeah, I think after that, and then we do have Mappy Hour later tonight. So, night for me, but
Happy
it's
hour.
me. Hi. All right. Well, we will see all you guys later. Thank you again for attending. As always, have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Goodbye.